Very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for coming and gracing this occasion. Beautiful conference on what works, especially bringing entrepreneurship into the classroom. Many challenges today facing schools, and one of them is the curriculum, obviously, as well as inspiration, passion, how to develop this among children. Let me give you a little bit background. We as a company, we are focused on bringing innovation and cultivating the entrepreneurship culture in the UAE. All right, my name is Samir Sortur. I'm one of the directors of Innovation 360, being a management consultancy firm focused on entrepreneurship and innovation. We are also getting a lot of impetus and a lot of interest from government bodies as well as educational institutes, universities and schools on how we can bring this culture, this startup mentality to the schools. This is quite common in the Western countries. 7th graders, 6th graders are learning about business, are learning about lean startup methodologies. How in the UAE, given the challenges educational organizations face today, how we can embed this into the culture itself. So I'm going to very quickly show you how the future of learning is going to look like. All right, it's a couple of minutes of YouTube video, so you will see how learning is going to be shaping the future of your kids and everybody. This is how can we have creative children? How can we develop the passion and the creativity in children? Out of the box thinking, what exactly it means, and how do we embed out of the box thinking? How can teachers, how can the school management actually can inspire the kids? What Works program is a great step by KHDA towards that inspiration. And finally, after going through all the process, what exactly is an entrepreneur, right? What does an entrepreneur do? What is expected out of kids from school on being entrepreneurs? How can we cultivate the spirit of entrepreneurship in them? And who we are, just to give you the background behind the team and how are we changing this in schools, and I'll give you some examples what we are doing with different schools here in Dubai, right? So I'm going to start with a YouTube video. Sorry. This is the future of learning. This is Microsoft's Vision 2020. Smart classroom infrastructure. Built by the kids for improving efficiency and productivity in schools and for businesses as well. Everything is gonna go smart. And is your son or daughter ready for this? All human interfaces are gone. Virtual classroom and virtual collaboration is in. This is going to be the future of smart cities in your hands. Shows the temperature of the drink. These kind of structures actually exist in China so far. So just to giving you a glimpse of what's going to come in the future. And this is Microsoft Vision 2020. So just looking at this video, what are some of the things that come to one's mind? Some of the challenges facing today, as I said, is, are we actually preaching creativity? Are we practicing innovation? Are we bringing these ideas to life? Are we creating the future of entrepreneurs? Are we bringing this? Are we bringing this culture, these ideas, these thoughts? Do our kids understand what's going to happen? Are we enough foresighted to actually show them the future? Ourselves, are we foresighted ourselves to show them the future? So, are the schools, are the bodies, the regulatory authorities of these education systems, are they putting enough stress on applying and generating new ideas into classrooms? So, the question is, there is a lot of effort. There is a lot of effort on, and some of the schools I have interacted with are have been in the journey of bringing the 6th graders, the 7th graders, the 8th graders, and so on, bringing their ideas up to life, conducting several competitions, inter-school, intra-school, nationwide competitions, to actually engage, look for imagination, look for different skills a person, a kid has, and bring out that imagination into innovative outcomes. So first of all, in order to bring that kind of creativity, that kind of to get that interesting outcome is basically to bring creativity, to enhance creativity into the classroom. So who are the first people who can bring creativity into the classroom? Who are they? The teachers themselves, right? So are they taught? Do they have enough tools to make the students creative? Right? Do they have enough pedagogies? Do they have enough learning material? Do they have ways and means to tackle the students and bring those creative outcomes to the forefront and actually prove the creativity? So it's actually the teachers and the students being involved together in the creative learning process. And just a glimpse of how the creating learning process occurs, So there are challenges. Do the teachers post enough challenges for the creative minds to think and actually solve those challenges? Does that happen in school? Or are they revolving around more on curriculum? They're going to excel in the curriculum path? That question needs to be answered. So looking at this bicycle, there is a need to actually co-manage the process. The involvement of the teachers, the involvement of the management, the involvement of somebody driving this creativity and learning process in the teaching mechanism, all right? Into the learning mechanism. What are the tools some of the teachers are using? What do you think are some of the tools teachers are using in the classroom to generate ideas and actually promote creativity? Any answers? Any tools you guys know that teachers use to promote creativity in the classroom, apart from the art and craft stuff? Role plays, okay. Does the role playing enhance enough creativity? Does that bring leadership qualities into a student's leadership qualities that come out? Or do they need the right left hand and right hand approach so that both sides of the brain can think? Do they need that? Right. Excellent. So yeah, one of the things they are doing is using role plays. There is a lot around games. The whole world is moving towards gaming. Why the kids are so much? Why everybody holds an iPad and an iPhone and an Android? Why is it there is so much stress on learning through gaming? Why is the gaming industry multi-billion-dollar, trillion dollars? You know, because the best way right now, as we go forward, a lot of learning is going to happen. Problem solving is going to happen using gamification, using games actually as problem solvers, as tools. All right? So we have to enable the students to generate ideas, to promote creativity using very interesting games. There were games in the past, very traditional games. There are games now today, all right, which are promoting to bring the best creative person. And they are, like, for example, even games like photography. For example, there are universities, there are schools promoting taking interesting pictures and posting it, but the pictures are actually tweaked in such a way that they actually mean something. They have a meaning. So this is how you bring out creativity. How many of the, most of the challenges are around functions. And the point here I'm trying to make is, do we really ask our kids or ask ourselves intriguing, challenging, unusual questions, okay, to facilitate, to represent new ideas in different ways? One of the things you were mentioning is role play. Apart from that, are there any challenging way that students can represent their new world ideas? There are a lot of schools, and I have been judging some of the schools in the GEMS set of schools, that they organize some very interesting competitions around robotics. Okay? Now, robotics is such an interesting subject in itself that all the ideas have to come out in the form of a minimum viable product to tackle to solve a specific problem. All right? But using robotics. That gives you a chance, that gives your brain the chance to think from both laterals, all right? And using both your hands. When you're using both your hands, both your matters are actually in function, all right? So that's the approach. We facilitate the use of Lego a lot, because Lego facilitates learning pretty much to a very high level, and it brings out creativity to the best possible extent. So using Lego, your kids building using Lego, we use a lot of clay stuff, right? Clay material and stuff like that. To build creative models is an interesting way to promote, to bring creativity. The point here is, what I'm trying to do is, using all these tools is actually you cultivate an individual, a student actually to become the entrepreneur. These are some of the things required. Creativity is required. Out-of-the-box thinking is required. Inspiration, passion. How do we bring out the passion? How do we bring out of the box? How can students approach new ideas? All right? What do we exactly mean by out of the box? All right? Out-of-the-box thinking is coming out of very innovative ideas apart from traditional thinking, right? That's out-of-the-box thinking. So, by thinking out of the box, they've already started the process of innovation, because inside them, they're thinking that this is a very innovative process. I've started thinking out of the box, and I'm able to form my own views, I'm able to handle my own objections by thinking out of the box. From the teacher's perspective, how many teachers listen to students out of the box ideas? Are they patient enough? Is the school system patient enough to listen to out of the box ideas and actually approach from a teaching mentality to tackle those ideas, right? So teachers should also look at these ideas from a learning perspective and vary in their approaches. Now, this might be a little bit time consuming because you're off the track, but this might actually be very impactful when it comes to communicating that in different forms, either by body language or by speaking or by visually transmitting some things which denote out-of-the-box thinking, right? So one of the things you can do is cultivate the out-of-the-box thinking culture in the school, and then look at the idea very closely. Drill down what exactly is the student trying to achieve out of this idea. Okay, when we go to different business plan competitions, when I've been judging different business plan competitions they are, even some of the competitions which school conducts, they are typically 60-70% are around art and craft or around very traditional things. So look at ideas which are non-traditional, which can actually promote out-of-the-box thinking, and look at the idea very deeply, so that you can, you can achieve, your students can achieve and implement creativity in themselves. The third factor I want to lay stress on is inspiration. And inspired students needs an inspiring classroom. Are your classrooms boring or inspirational? Is your classroom well lit up? Is the light from all sides enough for students to make sure that they are receiving the right amount of right amount of focus when they are learning? All right. So they need an inspiring classroom. Are the students, their colleagues, enough inspiring? Have they built that culture enough inspiring to actually come out with that kind of culture? So the teacher should promote qualities in students, the following qualities: dignity, energy, self-management, community, collaboration, awareness, environmental. So these are some of the things a teacher should inspire and communicate with their students. Dignity is always, and this is very common, praising students for good work, be energetic while teaching, engage students. The same passion, the learning passion has to come out. That for the teacher is very important that communicate that you're so passionate about teaching. This will actually, for the students, give them a feeling that teacher is so interested in addressing our needs. So don't be anxious to reduce down the inspiration. Don't be anxious. Self-management. Allow students to select homework from a list of options. Is that possible here? Is that possible in Dubai? Can students select their own homeworks? Can they choose their own homework partners? Can they choose their own school partners? Is that possible? Right? We have to answer. Allow students to help each other and teach new ideas. Collaboration. I work with a couple of schools, and they come to our creative workspace called the Crib, okay? Where what we did is we also painted all the walls with something called as idea paint, where they can write on the walls. We go tell the kids that don't write on the walls. We did the opposite. We painted something very interesting so that kids can write on the walls, right? There's a special paint we applied, and they can actually write on the walls. So how can this collaboration happen? Can we also engage them with the startups, with the ecosystem, with the investors, everybody who's present? So we made them think themselves on different complex ideas. Solve the hard problem first. 80% of it is the hard. The easy is the 20%. Solve the hard one first, okay? So raise that awareness. Don't bore the students with the same complexity, with the same, traditional thinking. Now, passion also. A very important quality for a student is he has to be passionate about what he is doing, whether it's in the classroom or whether it's outside the classroom. So if he has an idea, he wants to implement an idea, and he is very passionate to implement, support him. Right? As a teacher, even if you're outside, do support him with his thoughts and do encourage him to execute that idea. Will come out, a combination of all these qualities will come out as a very successful entrepreneur. All these were high level of entrepreneurial and innovative thinkers. They were taught with approaches to go on to produce new ideas and change the world. And these are some of the ideas you saw in the video are actually shaping. And I want to give you 2 examples. I'm working currently with a school called James Wellington International School of Sheikh Zayed Road. All right? So they had a competition, they had an internal competition for about 100 students. Out of the 100 students, we picked up 10 most bright students, okay, who were winners for that competition. Now we had about 10 different parameters for them to select, okay? Was their idea they pitched was unique? Did they have the correct logical thinking to approach that idea? Was there a team behind their idea? Okay, was it the right team? Okay, was their idea truly original? Okay, that's also important. We saw out of some 10 very important parameters, we selected 2 teams from 10 students, and we put them inside a program. We put them inside a program called an accelerator. What is an accelerator? An accelerator program is basically in a very short period of time, it can shape your idea to a commercial product or a service. That's a business accelerator. So we run a business accelerator. We put them in that program for a period of 4 months, from October till now. They are supposed to finish, scope the idea in 30 days, develop the idea to reach a minimum viable product, so the market, the customers can look at it and say, yes, I know. Even their internal school can look at it and say, yes, this is something very interesting. We can adopt it as a school management system. So we have these 2 beautiful applications we developed, and these are student entrepreneurs. They are the future. So one application came out as, the name of the application is called Flow AR. Okay, automating the workflow between teachers, the school, the management, the parents, and the students. Okay, has different set of features, has real-time feedback about the student, has access, teachers have access to actually grade and degrade the students, has a bunch of features launching very soon. Flow AR, watch out, developed by James Wellington School. The second, the most frustrating thing, these guys, actually they approach the problem in a very creative way. They said when we go to a school canteen, our school, mid-afternoon break is for 20 minutes. We spend half of the time, or more than half of the time, waiting in lines, in queue. All right? So they came out with a very creative application called YQ. WYQ. All right? YQ will actually, when you get into your school, when you scan your ID, your school ID, it will actually give you today's menu, and you can select the menu. There is already prepaid cash in your card, in your school card, right? So it'll say select my today's menu, and it'll put your inquiry directly to the canteen, and the canteen will flag you as soon as your food is ready. They'll send you a status update saying your food is ready, come pick it up. This way, they are trying to reduce the queues happening in school canteens, as well as increasing productivity. So if you are late so these 2 applications were developed right from the idea stage to the actually prototype stage, or actually to a commercial. Now we are validating them with various schools, and we are doing customer validation. These are some of the things. By bringing innovation and creativity in the classroom itself is going to be the progression of society globally. So I wanted all of you, to actually think about these points and see how you can embed some of the thoughts I discussed to bringing in the next set of entrepreneurs. I actually wanted to say, when if you guys have heard of the technology valley in San Francisco, it's called Silicon Valley, where most of the large technology companies are based, like Facebook and Google and Microsoft and all of these, Apple, okay? They say the age of 25, okay, is too old. They are hiring school children for very innovative, creative projects, right from age of 12 all the way up to 25. They say if you are there after 25, you have to be out of the valley. So this is what is shaping today's society. The same, we are trying to bring that same culture. When I was at my stand outside, we had some very interesting schools approach us saying, how can you come and actually bring this accelerator program or short program into our campus? Because we have our specializations in business, we have these specializations, okay? And we have these very interesting students coming up with ideas, but we don't know what to do with these ideas. We do not know, they present these ideas, they get a cash prize, and then done. We are done with that. We do not know how actually these execution happens. So they are more interested to discuss the execution part. The execution part, rather than the money part, is the best thing an individual can get, is the best motivation. When you involve him in actually the execution of his idea, all right? That's the best award. So I request all of you to be as innovative and creative as possible, and that'll lead to the progression of the society globally. Thank you. Thanks all of you for staying so late and attending my presentation. Thank you very much, and thank you for the KHDA management too. Thank you.